Hey everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for the week. These are the horoscopes for the week ending 2/27/2016. We got some fun stuff going on this week and we're going to go ahead and get right to it. And we're going to start, as we always do, with Aries. We're going to kick off this week on Sunday with a grand fire trine. And I love grand fire trines because there's tons and tons of energy behind a grand fire trine. And this one between Saturn and Uranus in your sign and the moon, as the moon moves into Leo, or continues actually I should say in Leo at the beginning of this week, is a big one. It's all about really working with those big ideas that you have and putting them into action. And Saturn is sitting there in trine position with Uranus all week long anyways, really helping you get this energy to get these things done throughout the week. Now, as this grand fire trine ends on Sunday and we move into Monday, we're looking at a grand sextile between Uranus, Saturn, Mercury, and Venus, and it is all about your goals and dreams and also a little bit about finances. And it's a really good aspect that's really giving you some help in taking those ideas and putting them into practice, turning them into something really spectacular that you're going to be working with for a long time. And it's also giving you some ideas on how to provide for the finances in order to do these things. Now, of course, that square with Pluto is still there. And on Thursday, when the moon moves into position, it's going to be a T-square. And this is going to cause some issues when it comes to your relationships. You've got the support, but you don't have the support. It's like you got support from some people, but not the people that are important. And it really does make this difficult. It really makes it heavy. The bottom line is, with all of these positive aspects around you, you have a choice. Are you going to focus on getting things done and really getting towards your goals and making it? Or are you going to focus on these little issues between some of the relationships? Once you focus on the things that you do have control over, the little things become insignificant. And that is what you want to work on this week. So you guys have a great week with that. Taurus, this week we're officially in the ending stages of out with the old and in with the new. When we're talking about cleaning out your emotional closet, it is very much like cleaning out your physical closet, the one that's in your house. You got all this stuff in there that you've been holding on to for a while, maybe clothes that don't fit anymore, you don't like them anymore. And when you clean all that crap out, you have room for new stuff. Now you can go shopping and buy clothes that you do want to wear, clothes that do fit, or what have you. Cleaning out your emotional closet is very much the same thing. When you're cleaning that part of yourself out, you're really hashing up some of these old feelings and really looking at them and embracing them and then letting them go and saying, sayonara, buddy. I don't want to hold on to the anger of that goes on around this situation anymore. I want to fill myself with love. And as you get rid of these things, you leave room for that pure love and light that you want. So this week, it definitely has been a little bit of an issue. It has been a little bit of a pain in the rear the last couple of weeks, really focusing on this emotional closet. But this week is the last week that you're going to have to do it, first of all. And second of all, once you do, you have all this open space for new love for yourself, for new relationships, and you're not bringing the baggage of the old relationships in. So you guys have a great week with that. Gemini, there's a massive burst of energy around you to get things done this week. And when you are really able to move forward on some things, it's such a nice, wonderful feeling. Because when you're stuck and you can't move forward and it seems to drag on and it is just really, it's really a downer. Now this week, one of the things that really helps with really seeing what you have done is making lists. Now, I'm a fellow airhead myself. It's always a great idea to make a list, but I never do it, right? Because it's just pure laziness on my part. But when you make a list of all the things that need to be done, you can check them off as you go, and those checks really have a positive impact because you're visibly seeing all of these things that are done that you did get done. Even if you didn't get it done, you organized somebody to help you out. So in a sense, you did get these things done. Now, of course, you want to harness this getting things done amazing energy as much as possible, because next week we're going to be moving into a place, you guys are going to be moving into a place, I should say, where there are some nagging old things that are going to be coming up. So this week you really want to focus your time on really banging things out and getting them done, and really facing those negative nagging thoughts that come into your head about your abilities to be able to get things done. Look at those thoughts, kick them to the curb, and say sayonara, baby, because you don't want to deal with those anymore. And by the time you get to next week, where those thoughts are going to be coming back again, you've got a full arsenal to be able to really face this issue head on and really make a difference for yourself. So you guys, get your stuff done and have a great week with that. Cancer, sometimes the best thing that you can do for you is take care of you. And this is what this week is really all about. As you're moving from focusing on things of the past to yourself, it can be a very difficult transition for a lot of people. Definitely a difficult transition for Cancer for sure. But when it comes down to it this week, it really is time to take some time for you. Pamper yourself, spoil yourself, do whatever it is that makes you happy. Because this week, as you're moving from focus on the past to what you're doing right now, it does seem a little bit tricky at times when you're looking back on past experiences that maybe were difficult for you because you made mistakes, or you're looking at the situation thinking you didn't do enough in that particular situation. Now there's two things that I have to tell you about that. The first one is you did the best that you could with the circumstances that you had, and you have to look at it that way rather than nitpick at all the little things that you didn't do. The truth is that those little things may or may not really have anything to do with the ultimate outcome. The outcome could be exactly the same. Now the second thing, of course, is to really pay attention to where you're going in this particular situation as far as what's going on in here. Are you taking it upon yourself as you're a failure, or are you looking at it as, again, you did the best that you could with the circumstances that you had? Everybody goes one way or the other, and this week it really is time for you to take back your power in this by looking at the situation truthfully instead of beating yourself up. So this week, if you've been through the ringer emotionally in the last week or so, which a lot of Cancers have, it really is time to take some time for you. And remember, you deserve to have this time. You deserve to give yourself this time. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't, because the truth is, nobody can spoil you like you can. So you guys, take care of yourselves and have a great week with that. Leo, the week kicks off with the moon in your sign, causing a beautiful grand fire trine, and it's all about those big ideas that you Leos have this week and really making something of those ideas. Now, when I mean making something of those ideas, luckily the moon is in grand fire trine with Saturn in Sagittarius and Uranus, which is in Aries. So we're talking having the support via Uranus in order to be able to really get these things done. And Saturn is all about taking your own responsibility to get things done when it comes to these ideas. It's providing you energy to do these things throughout the week and during your day, and providing you time to be able to get these things done, which is a big deal. Now, of course, this grand fire trine is only going to last for one more day. It's ended the last week. It's begun this week. But it's a great energy to start off the week because it puts you in the right mindset for the beginning of the week in order to ride that out throughout the rest of the week. So this week, it really is all about making something of those ideas. You have something that you want to get done. Now it's time to stop thinking about it and start really doing something about it, because an idea is great, but it really doesn't go anywhere if you don't actually put that idea into practice. And when you go back and you think about how many beautiful ideas you've had that you really didn't do anything with, I tell you what, you are going to want to really start doing stuff with these ideas that are coming up to you, because it is a beautiful thing when you have an idea and you can actually put it into practice. It makes for awesome things to come later on. So you guys, do something with those beautiful ideas this week and have a great week with that. Virgo, the moon moving into your sign on Monday is going to move straight into opposition with Neptune and the sun, which means it's a full moon in Virgo this week. Now, this full moon energy may kind of sort of screw around with your head there as you seem to be entertaining more than usual thoughts in a negative way, basically. So we're talking maybe self-destructive thoughts or overthinking different situations. And when we overthink different situations, we tend to go to the extreme every single time, even in ways, in so extreme ways that there's no possibility that that's going to happen, but we still got it going on in here. Especially around your dreams and your goals. It's really big. So if you're thinking about doing something, that overthinking about it is really going to get in the way, because your chances of actually starting this goal are not very good when you've got a lot of fear-based thoughts going on. Now, as the moon moves into conjunction with Jupiter on Tuesday, things are going to settle down a little bit more, although she joins Jupiter's square with Saturn. And that is going to kind of sort of dampen down your energy and make you feel like you really can't seem to focus on anything during the day. And this is definitely going to be an issue throughout the week, as Jupiter is still in that square with Saturn and will continue to be in that squared position with Saturn. But the good news is that the moon joins Jupiter's trine for a day with Pluto, and this of course is all about making changes, especially when it comes to your relationships. So you may be kind of feeling drained about getting things done during the week, but it may just be because your focus is so taken up on these relationships that you really can't seem to focus on anything else. And you know how it was when you first fell in love. Everything else didn't matter because you were so focused on that one person. So there's a beautiful energy for that this week for you guys as well. Bottom line here is you're not going to get everything. Everything's not going to work out perfect, quote unquote perfect, as the Virgos definitely like them to be, and that's unfortunate. You've got to focus on the good and let the bad kind of sort of just do its thing and run its course and leave and what have you. Because if you're spending too much time focused on the negative and not the positive, your negative is really going to expand around you. But focusing on the positive, however, is a different story. You see your positive expand around you and the negative kind of sort of fall to the wayside. So you guys, watch your focus this week and have a great week with that. Libra, the moon is moving into your sign this week on Wednesday, of course. As she moves into your sign, her aspect with Mars is a huge burst of energy to really get things done, especially getting things done in the home. And then by Thursday, as she moves a little bit further into your sign, her grand sextile with Saturn and Mercury and Venus is big time. It's really giving you the reason and the responsibilities as to why doing these things is really, actually doing these things every day during the week is really showing you a responsibility to these goals, especially when it comes to your long-term goals and financial goals. When it comes to making money, of course, you gotta do it, right? You gotta follow through, and you gotta go out and make that money. It's all there is to it. It's not gonna come to you because it's just not going to, okay? It's not going to come to you without you actually doing something about it. Now, of course, the moon is also going to move into T-squared position with Uranus and Pluto at the same time. And this aspect is difficult because it's really making it feel like you're doing all of this on your own. And you know what? You are doing all of this on your own. And that is difficult. Of course, you want to have the support and people to help you and back you up. But the truth is, this is your dream, not anybody else's. So you have to be the one to focus on it, because nobody else is really going to understand the importance of it like you will. So this week, focus on the opportunity, not so much the difficulty. Don't let the difficulty become an excuse as to why you can't focus on the opportunity, because you've already played that game, and we all know that that game doesn't get you anywhere. So you guys have a great week with that. Scorpio, as the moon comes into your sign at the end of this week, she moves into trine position with Neptune and the Sun, who are both in conjunction with each other right now, and it's a beautiful energy towards your dreams and goals. I mean, you can really get a clear vision of what it looks like to shine when it comes to achieving these goals, which is a beautiful thing. However, as Mars moves into squared position with Neptune and Venus right about the same time at the end of the week. It may seem like your energy that you're putting into communicating these goals is just sort of kind of burying you in a place where you can't seem to move forward in these goals. Now, the bottom line with this challenge is it's really teaching you that you can't force what you want. You have to, of course, let the universe provide some of that for you at the same time. So when you're talking about what you want in terms of your goals and dreams, you need to take into consideration the universe's time as well. You know, being Scorpios, you guys are very intuitive, and the moon being in trine position with Neptune is also about intuition. So, of course, the universe flows as intuition flows, and that's what this challenge is trying to teach you. So don't try and force anything. Take away the control. It doesn't have to be done the way you think it has to be done, because the truth is the universe might have a little bit of a different plan. You're still getting to the same place. It's just the steps that you're taking to get there are a little bit different. So you guys change that perception and have a great week with that. Sagittarius, Saturn's squared positions with Neptune, the Sun, and Jupiter are really throwing a wrench in your plans when it comes to getting anything done in the home or progressing towards any goals that you may have right now. And this is a really frustrating energy for Sagittarians who are on the go and they love to get things done. When the obstacle is in front of them, it just is really frustrating for the Sagittarian. They want to be able to do what it is that they want to do. But at the same time, at the beginning of this week, enters Saturn's grand sextile with Uranus, Mercury, and Venus, and it is all about your goals and dreams too, and more importantly, making money. And we all love to make money, right? Everybody loves to make some money. The truth is, it's the same focus. You got a negative focus, you got a positive focus, but it's all focused in the same place. And the truth is that sometimes when you have to fight your way to get what you want, it's not going to work for you because you're trying to force it. You can't try and force it. It's like trying to force a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work. You're going to have to take a step back and look at it in a little bit of a different way. By looking at it in a different way, completely different than what you have been looking at it, you're going to find a solution to that obstacle so that you can bang it out, knock it out, and move forward with what it is that you want to do. So this week, you guys, it really is time to stop that fight, because you don't need to fight through what you want to do in order to get it. You simply sometimes have to take a step back and let it progress the way that it's supposed to. So you guys have a great week with that. Capricorn. Pluto's trine with Jupiter is an excellent energy to make some changes within your home and provide the support from some of your relationships to help you make those changes. May even have some favorable energy to making some changes within some of those relationships also. Now, that's the good news, of course, but the not so great news is that Pluto is square with Uranus, which is still there, unfortunately, and is causing difficulties within some of your relationships. That is a little bit sticky still, and as the moon moves into T-squared position with these two planets on Thursday, it's really going to feel like everything that you're doing on your own, which is a really messed up way of having to deal with anything. Nobody wants to feel like they're doing everything by themselves. However, let's look at this for what it is and take a look in that Capricorn mirror for a minute, because Capricorns generally have this I can do it myself kind of an energy. And what happens with that is you wind up training everybody around you to think that you can handle everything on your own and you don't need anybody's help. That can be a big problem when you're sitting there wanting somebody to notice that you need help and nobody is paying attention. Nobody's noticing anything because they just assume that you have everything under control. So this week, it's time to start a little bit of a retraining program, shall we? And retrain everybody around you to understand that it takes everybody to make something happen and not just you doing it by yourself. And when you give these people the option to understand where you're coming from, then you get a little bit more support out of it. So you guys have a great week with that. Aquarius, with Mercury and Venus in your sign this week, and at the top point of a grand sextile between them, Uranus and Saturn, there is a massive burst of energy towards achieving some of your goals and making some money. And we all like to make money now, don't we? This aspect is really pointing towards your responsibility to really make things happen. And when it comes to having goals and dreams, you can dream all you want to, but if you're not willing to put in the work in order to make that dream become a reality, it will never get anywhere. This week it's all about doing something, whatever it is that you need to do in order to get to the next level of that goal, and which will lead to the ultimate outcome of making that goal turn into a reality. And of course you do have the support with Uranus sitting there backing you from other people. But what good is that support if you're not going to do anything yourself? It really comes down to you. You can have support all you want to, but when it comes down to it, it's all about what you do and what you provide and what you put into these particular goals. So this week, it's time to really get your nose to the grind, Aquarians, and really make something happen. And I know you can do it too, because you're Aquarians, and there's no stopping us once we get done. Or started, I should say. So you guys have a great week with that. And finally, Pisces. Happy birthday to all the Pisces born this week, especially a couple of fishies that are close to my heart. And we'll start off at the beginning of the week with my niece Victoria. You know, she was my first niece ever born, as far as nieces and nephews are concerned, and she is 17 years old this week, which is amazing to me to even think that she is 17 years old. I hope that you have a beautiful birthday, Victoria, because you deserve everything and more. And you're almost 18, one more year. And then, of course, we can't leave out AOD Matt, who's going to be the big 40 this week at the end of the week. And, of course, we all know Matt from AOD, but, of course, drummer Dave and I know Matt as our best friend for, like, forever. And I hope that you, Matt, have a beautiful birthday also, because you deserve 1,000 beautiful birthdays and more, and we love you. Mwah. Now, getting into what's happening for the week this week. Neptune and the Sun are in conjunction with each other, which makes it really feel like you can super shine when it comes to your dreams and goals. The energy is just like, it's right there, and I can do this, and it's wonderful. But as they're squared with Saturn, of course, it kind of sort of brings this low energy when it comes to getting things done during the day or during the week. And so when you're talking about your dreams and goals, of course, they're right there. You can almost touch them, but you have work to do in order to get to them. This is where getting things done on a daily basis is really, really important. And that low energy makes it very difficult to do that. Now, really, we need to focus on what's behind this low energy. And it is all about feeling the weight of this responsibility. It's very heavy responsibility. It feels like you got so many things to do, not enough time to do them. And when you feel this energy, it really feels like you just want to throw your hands up in the air and give up and say, I can't do it. Well, this week it's really time to change that around. Look at the responsibility for what it is. Don't look at it as an overwhelming, I have 10,000 things to do, because it's going to make you freeze and stop in your tracks, and you're not going to do anything at all. You have to take one responsibility at a time and really understand that the universe chose you to do this job. Now, it may seem sometimes like you don't have enough strength or enough oomph or enough whatever to be able to do this. And at other times it feels like the universe obviously picked the wrong person for the job because you don't have it in you. But you do have it in you. You wouldn't have been given this opportunity if you didn't. So this week, look at the situation for what it is. Do what you can do. Don't worry about the things that are out of your control, and be productive as much as possible, because that is your responsibility towards your dreams. And you guys have a great week with that. Thank you so much for watching the horoscopes this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Check out, of course, the Heavy Metal Psychic on Facebook, and Grateful Fairy Wings on Facebook also. We are going to have some classes coming up, and I'm always available for readings and chart interpretations. Always, always, always fun to be able to work with everybody. So check out those pages, find out where you can get a hold of me so you can book your reading. Again, I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you lovely people next week.